Few things inspire awe like the night sky. Filled with stars, seemingly nothing happens. Yet a star fuses small atoms, like hydrogen, into the larger atoms necessary for life, until one day it explodes, releasing these atoms into space. Over time, gravity will gather them once again into new stars, like our Sun, and planets, like Earth. Under the sun for billions of years, this stardust transforms further into the everyday miracles that surround us. And that's where our story begins. For the past 2 years, our little stars have been guided by a new teacher, and today we're going to check in on them. And this brings us to the Martello School, where Helen Ladyka has taken on the challenge of guiding, teaching, and forming the hearts and minds of the children in the newly formed grade 5-6 class.
Land of the silver birch, home of the beaver, where still the mighty moose wanders at will. Blue lake and rocky shore, I will return once more. Boom diddy boom 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 diddy boom 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 diddy boom boom boom.
I'm Kathy, of course, and I first remember seeing Helen when she was with a group of interview people that were coming in for the position for the 5-6 teacher. When she came in to work with the children so I could sort of observe and see what her teaching technique was like, I walked up the stairs to what was then the grade 3-4 class, and she's tossing a ball around the room and asking.
It was a hot June day, and she arrived at our classroom with a big ball, and she was going to teach a class on geography to the students. She threw the ball to different students, and as they caught it, they had to name a country and talk about it. It was a scorcher. It was a scorcher, and it was the end of June, and it was a very tricky time to teach a lesson, but she immediately caught the students' interest, held their interest, and they had a really fun time. It was a great introduction to the school.
I was so impressed, of course, I hired her.
Blue lake and rocky shore, I will return once more. Boom diddy boom 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 diddy boom 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 diddy boom boom boom. Boom diddy boom 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 diddy boom 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 diddy boom boom boom.
One of the biggest things I had to look for when hiring a teacher to open up this new program was I needed someone that was dynamic enough to employ her own style of teaching on top of the Martello philosophy.
Helen is just a dynamo. She is full of energy and enthusiasm. She created the curriculum for grade 6 and put a lot of extra time into it.
In the public and separate systems, there is very little information on each of the parts of the curriculum. So you're left up to your own devices as to what kind of added enrichment you put into it.
Helen prepared students extremely well for science fair. It's a big job because it's quite a huge project, and she managed to make sure all of the students were on schedule and working away, and they created fabulous pieces that they displayed in the science fair.
Well, the purpose of my project was I wanted to try to find the reason why teeth grew in crooked. So I conducted...
This is Pierre's first and only year at Martello School, and I wanted him to be in Helen's room. This was his first year for science fair.
This project is about fluids and liquids. Each jar has a different series of liquids: water, vinegar.
He couldn't have done it without Helen's help because she kept him on task
and what I have seen in the results of things from science fair projects to the historic affair to the Fibonacci, Byron Germain, Mathematica testing, everything has been well above the local standards. The soccer this year is a first-time thing, and it was a trial basis by the separate school board. So they decided that it would be nice for us to join in, and both she and Mrs. Ryder initiated soccer practices and programs for children that have had some soccer in their lives, because I know that lots of these students are on soccer teams, but really haven't had a great deal of focus on the ins and outs of playing soccer. And Helen certainly is very instrumental at getting them involved in following the rules, learning the tricks of the trade when you're playing soccer.
Okay, the rest of you be up on your toes, ready, Alex.
Wow, go up, really?
And that she actually will play. She doesn't sort of sit on the sidelines. She will play with them. And I think that's wonderful, because then they see her getting involved in all the sports activities, skating, the same thing.
2 weeks ago, went to the Museum of Civilization, as well as the Parliament and Science and Technology. It was a very, very busy, tiring field trip. Not tiring during the field trip, but boy, we were beat when we got back. We were surrounded by the children who were tucked off in other pavilions. Some slept in the pyramid, some in the Japanese house, the Zen garden next to the fountain. It was great to have Helen there showing me how she has developed all of these superb trips, and I have learned a lot. I've learned field trip timing, so it will be great moving into that 5-6 class.
She has created a great environment in that classroom. The kids are flourishing.
This land was made for you and me.
When the sun comes shining, then I was strolling in wheat fields waving and dust clouds rolling, where the voice was chanting as the fog was lifting.
This land was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. From Buena Vista to Vancouver Island, from the Arctic Circle to the Great Lake waters. This land was made for you and me. This land was made for you and me.
Could not have made a better choice, and these past 2 years have been phenomenal.
So Helen, we are going to miss you. I wish you all the best in Winnipeg. You and Gord and Beth and Joseph have been a wonderful addition to our Martello family. Thank you so much.
Kumbaya, my lord, kumbaya, kumbaya, my lord, kumbaya, kumbaya, my lord, kumbaya, oh Lord, kumbaya. Someone's crying, Lord, kumbaya. Someone's crying, Lord, kumbaya. Someone's crying, Lord, kumbaya. Oh Lord, kumbaya.
It's just the beginning. If there's ever a chance of expanding into a 7-8 program, there really has to be this solid foundation, and that's what Helen has done.
Maybe one day you will look up at the night sky to see the stars, or a planet, perhaps Mars. Look closely, and instead of a lifeless planet, you may see a familiar face, and know that you helped him get there.